Now let's take a look at example 5. I've given you the graph and I want you to find the domain and range of the graph and also determine the interval of increasing, decreasing, or constant, and then find the zeros, x-intercept, and y-intercept of the graph. Okay, so it's look like you have to analyzing the graph. So first of all, we're gonna determine domain and range. So domain of the function, if you can see the graph is on the left and right, they have the arrow pointing to the left and the arrow pointing to the right. It means this function will be keep going forever from the left to right. So it means the domain will be negative infinity. You don't see any discontinuous point in the middle. So the domain is all real number. And how about range? Range, from the left of the function, you can see the arrow is pointing down. And on the right, the arrow pointing up, it means the function will going forever to the negative infinity of the y value and positive infinity of the y value. So it means the range is going to be negative infinity to positive infinity. Okay, so that's how you determine the domain and range from the graph. Now, determine the interval of increasing and decreasing. Similarly, if you place yourself at this arrow, isn't that you keep going up until you hit -1? So you're gonna have, kind of -1. It's not really -1, but I'm gonna say -1. So you will have the function increasing. So f of x is gonna be increasing on because of the arrow on the left, so on negative infinity to where? To -1. And then after -1, you're gonna going downhill. So it means f of x will be decreasing on -1 to 1. All right. And then after 1, you will keep walking uphill. So it means you're gonna have the function increasing also in the interval of 1 to infinity. 1 to infinity. All right. So that is part B. And then now for C, I need to finding all the zero, x-intercept, and y-intercept. What is zeros and x-intercept? They actually represent the same thing. So zero is mean the value that make the function equal to 0. And x-intercept, which is the value that have the y value is equal to 0, or the value that is the intersection of the curve and the x-axis. So it means to finding the 0 and the x-intercept is pretty much the same thing, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and find on the x-axis which value have the y is equal to 0. So on the x-axis, we see that this value, this and this, gonna be our function, our point that give the y value is 0, okay? So we can say zeros of this function is actually -2, 0, and 2. So x-intercept is gonna be the same value, but you're gonna put it at the point, okay? Because the x-intercept point, right? And then 0, 0, and then 2, 0. So this means the x-intercept. So zeros, we're gonna read just the x value, but for the x-intercept, you're gonna read it at the point, the coordinate point, which is you have the -2 is the x value and the y value is always 0. How about y-intercept? Y-intercept, same thing. It's just like x-intercept, but instead of having y equals 0, you're gonna have the point that have x equals 0. And the only point in here that on the y-axis have the x equals 0 is 0, 0. So our y-intercept will be 0, 0. So that's how you analyzing the graph.